Hydration is key. I'm just going to finish eating this first. The other thing I was saying is we have actually technically played a huge chunk of this before. But I wasn't saving last time because I didn't realize that I wasn't saving. And the game abruptly ended. I went to find a walkthrough because I was like, we'll play the beginning of the game again with a walkthrough. There actually isn't one. It's just a hints and tips. Which, great, but give me a walkthrough. Give me a walkthrough. Especially since it's, there are games that we play that there are just no walkthroughs. That's fine. That's an obscure thing. This isn't, super, super duper obscure. But it's obscure, but pretty much everything on this game is just it is a couple of paragraphs that technically does give you, it gives you the answer at the end. I haven't fully read it, but it's just basically you have to ask yourself the questions: who had the means, motive, and opportunity in solving this murder? Blah, 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 blah. And then it actually goes well, here's all the things that you need to ask yourself about solving it, but not how to actually do it. Great. And then that same blurb is everywhere. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. That's breakfast done. Alright. And how is everyone? I feel alive now. Santa Fe Mysteries. Yeehaw! Ooh, chicken tendies. Blood. So what I remember, this is called the Elk Moon murder. Because a woman called Anna Elkmoon is dead.
Get down to headquarters pronto.
As word for desperate, friends and fans of Anna Elkmoon, one of the Southwest's most celebrated potters, are gathering here outside of her home in Santa Vera to pay their respects. Widely acknowledged as the foremost practitioner of the popular Santa Vera pottery style, Elkmoon was found dead early this morning in her studio by her husband Jack Gordon, a professor at the university. Police are releasing few details, but it is believed the subject suffered fatal gunshot wounds. No suspects have been identified as of yet. This is Teresa Chavez for KITT Channel 6 News.
Sorry, love, you were drowned out by the siren. So we are the police, and yes, we do have scan lines. Everyone loves a good scan line. Here we go. To the police headquarters.
Heading back to headquarters, over.
Copy that, D-52.
I thought you'd never get here.
Hey, Chief.
Come on in.
I'm overworked and
One
underpaid.
thing for sure, Anna Elkmoon had some friends in pretty high places.
Wow.
I've already heard from the governor's office, the honchos in the legislature, and the regional director of the FBI. Everybody wants answers. I told them I got my best people working on the case. Just don't make a liar out of me, huh?
We're making a liar out of
Not
you.
a lot I can tell you here. The victim was found in her studio by her husband at approximately 5 a.m. Bullet in her brain. And they both went to the public hearing on the casino project last night. When they got home, she went straight to her studio to work. Detective Nice Guy, come on in.
Chief?
I'm just filling
Oh, yeah.
your partner in here.
He's our
Anyway,
reservation partner.
it looks like some of her pots are missing. That and a bunch of cash. At least $2,000, according to Gordon. He says his wife hated banks, and she always carried a wad with her.
Wow.
Now, let's get this straight. I'm giving you overall authority for this case.
Mm-hmm.
But since the victim is a Native American living off tribal lands, we've got to tread lightly here. So I'd like Nice Guy to do most of the talking. Comprende? All right.
Night Sky.
I'm also assigning
The first time we
Sergeant
played this, I thought
Rebecca
he was called
Orlando
Detective Nice
to
Guy.
legwork, checking alibis for you. Nice Guy, tell him about that new gadget we got there, that PDA, Personal Digital, what?
PDA, Chief. Personal Digital Assistant.
Wow.
These will keep us in touch with headquarters day or night. The lab can beep us for test results, or if the Chief needs to talk to us...
All right. We got a murder case to solve here. Now just push the help button there if you can't figure this thing out. Now remember, I got half the state breathing down my neck.
Cool.
I want answers, and I want the right ones. The FBI's already making noises about jurisdiction. I can only guarantee you people 5 days to crack this before the big boys
And then he
must
drew a
win.
penis on it. Good work.
So, use your time wisely. You don't follow the right leads, your 5 days will get eaten up with chit-chat and blind alleys. And I don't want you people hanging out with those nutcases at the Mongoose Tavern. Everybody down there thinks they're Sam Spade.
We're definitely going down there
Standing
because
around
it's
here,
hilarious.
Come on, let's get going.
Cool. Thanks, Chief. Chief, you just ate up an entire hour. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Where's the Mongoose Tavern? Oh, they're forcing me to actually go to the murder first.
D-52, we're on our way to Jack Gordon's, over.
10-4.
But, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, like I said, like the first time that we were playing this, I thought they were calling him Detective Nice Guy, and I was like, huh, alright. They haven't even taken the body away. Cool. Let's try this. There we go. So we want a forensic report. We want to take a photograph. And we want to review notes on the evidence. Here's our PDA. Order forensic tests. Yep. Search surrounding areas for shell casing. Did the killer pick it up? Oh, we got mail.
Detective Rebecca Orlando here, reporting for duty. Hey, detectives. Forensics will be closing off the crime scene in 7 hours, so you better get over there, pronto. Only 5 days to solve the mystery. Good luck. Time flies in Santa Fe.
I thought she was about to say only 5 days till retirement. We also have some case files, which we have no alibis or anything yet, but we'll get there. Here's a cigarette. I don't think we need a photograph of that. A broken glass. Always good to get forensic reports on anything at the crime scene. Dirt. I'm guessing that's from one of her pots. Give me a torso. I will take a photograph of that. Take a look at this photograph. For the restoration and cleaning of the Santa Vera pot, $500. From Astrid Ames. Order a phone trace. I don't know if I'd call it a trace as much as saying, hey, can I have her phone records? Processing. Take a photo of that pot. That would be the Santa Vera pot. where is the Santa Vera pot? I think that's all that's here. We got mail again. Oh.
Here are the results on the bullet wound. Powder burns and traces of yellow suede were found at the entry site and along the wound track. My guess is that someone was using standard suede guarding gloves to muffle the sound.
Oh.
From the size of the bullet, we can tell it was fired from a .357 or .38 caliber revolver at point-blank range.
Oh.
We checked with county records and found Karen Gordon's name on a list of revolvers registered in the area.
I'm guessing that would be the husband's ex-wife, I'm guessing by the name. Cool. Back out. Let's go see the husband.
If we could begin with your name and occupation, relationship to the victim.
She was my wife, damn it.
Jack Gordon. I teach anthropology at the University of New Mexico. And Elton's my wife.
No. Can you describe what happened?
Can you describe the events of last night?
Of course. Ann and I went to the casino hearing at 7:30. My own part, I wasn't too keen on going. Anna's taken a fair amount of heat for moving off the Pueblo and marrying a white man.
You know me.
A lot of folks thought her opposition to the casino was actually backfiring, that any Indian who's had the success she's had doing her own type of non-traditional art had no right to beat the preservationist drum. I mean, she's accused of hypocrisy and much worse. I thought she was asking for it. But nothing scared Hannah. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind, and last night was certainly no different. I thought she got a good reception until after it broke up.
What happened after the meeting?
She had a run-in with Roy.
Roy?
Roy Altmoon, her ex-husband, and if I'm not mistaken, her murderer.
What did he do exactly?
We were in the parking lot. He snuck up out of the dark and started ranting. Said Anna had hidden assets during the settlement hearing. He'd been trying to reopen the decree ever since the divorce. I just hustled Anna into the car and we drove off. Now, by my age, I've learned better than getting a pissing match with a skunk.
What makes you think Roy killed her?
Roy was a wife beater.
Oh boy.
He put Anna in the hospital once that I know of.
Oh boy.
Broke her right arm. Andy was desperate. Roy never could let go. And for the most part, Anna ignored it. I think that made him even crazier. You know, I'd actually stop drinking. For Anna's sake. Now what's the use?
Aww. We'd frame to cut that on.
You drove home after the meeting?
We must have gotten home about 10:30. I went in the house to bed to watch TV and I went out to work in the studio. She's been all gung-ho about this pot she's been cleaning for Astrid Ames. Some super valuable piece that's being returned to the Pueblo.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, for all I know, that's what they were after.
I mean, it is missing.
Anyway, I must have fallen asleep. The next thing I know, I wake up and there's television static. It's 5 a.m. and Anna's not there. I went out to the studio. That's when I found her. Call the police.
You didn't hear anything? Gunshots?
No. Anna said I could sleep through Armageddon.
Oh boy.
You say you watched TV when you got home.
A letter when I got in. And then the beginning of the 11 o'clock news. Last thing I remember is a truck crash, I don't know, around 25.
Cool. Yes, so hi. Hello. We are playing the Elk Moon Murders. Elk Moon Murders. I put an S on there for no reason. It's just the singular murder. But we have played this before, but from what I remember, we got to like day 3. We'd found the pot, and then like the next day it was just like, hey, we were playing around with we're sitting behind him. He's our assistant that's asking the questions for us. His name's Mr. Night Sky, even though again, last time I was mishearing it as Mr. Nice Guy. He's the good cop. But yeah, like the cops were playing with golf clubs in the evidence lockup and broke the vase, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? The fuck?
Did Anna smoke?
Neither one of us did.
Cool. That's all yeah.
Is there anyone else you think might shed some light on all of this?
Anna had been working with an anti-casino group. I forget the name. It was run by this young guy named Paul Balin. They've been spending a lot of time together the last few weeks.
Oh.
You could ask him. He might have an idea or two.
Cool.
Oh. And McCourse.
Who's McCourse?
McCourse is this guy that Anna used for the garden. She caught him snorting coke on the job and fired him. Well, he harassed us for a while. Kept calling all hours of the night, claiming we owed him money. This was 4 months back.
Good lord. Well, thanks for the interview.
Our condolences, Mr. Gordon. We'll be in touch.
Comments, Detective Nice Guy?
That guy really knows how to booze it up. Looks like he likes his Scotch whiskey. What do you think, partner? Think he did it?
Yeehaw. Husband. I mean, not at the moment. Oh boy. Oh boy.
There's an important lead from Carrie March. The chief requests that you proceed to her residence immediately.
Alright. March. Astrid. Library. Yes! We're just, because he said he didn't want us speaking to the yahoos at the Mongoose Tavern, so we're just gonna...
D-52 to the Mongoose Tavern, over.
I mean, this is Santa Fe. But, from what I remember of these guys...
I don't know if you've had the pleasure of meeting the best of Santa Fe's armchair detectives.
Are they, though?
To right, Carla Vedanta, upholsterer psychic, resident expert on Naga hide and extrasensory perception. Graham Haggerty, cowboy poet. If it happens in Santa Fe, Graham knows about it. Charlotte Mabry makes her living as an expert witness in forensics. And last but not least, Cliff Lodgepole, man about Santa Fe.
So basically, since this is timed, that's the reason why I saved, because I was just like, let's fool around with these guys. That took us 15 minutes. What have you got to say, woman?
Personally, I suggest you take a hard look at the Indian market. Anna took a stand on the board a few years ago. Opposed expanding the market and won. Got a lot of people up in arms. Didn't some Indian artist commit suicide over it? Wolfwalker, I think her name was. Mary. Married to Raymond Wolfwalker. Weavers, I think.
You know what they said about Anna, don't you?
No.
Nobody tougher. Told her it couldn't be done, just got her all fired up. She saw trouble coming, she stood right up to it. I'd want to talk to Ed Snyder if I was you, detective. He's the linchpin in this whole casino deal. Snyder and Sonny Two Feathers, Joe Detta's nephew, cooked this casino scheme up. They both stand to lose big, although now I understand they got their own battle going.
I'm the wolf
Sonny
walker.
doesn't like how the way Ed views the Indian ways. By the way, the Bristlecone Bar is only 20 minutes from Two Feathers' house on the Pueblo. And Anna Elkmoon's is on the way. He had time to commit the crime, ditch the evidence, and still be home by 1.
Cool. What do you
I
got?
don't know whether you've heard, but the pot Anna Elkmoon was cleaning is supposed to be cursed. And the fact that it was taken from the kiva. Wait a minute. I'm getting a vision. I'm seeing Anna involved with a young man who is jealous.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Fresh from her triumphant tour of the spirit world.
Very jealous. It's not her husband. His name starts with P. That's all I'm getting right now. I think he has important information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're not doing that. We're going back. We're going back. There is no clicking through this menu. We just have to wait. Alright. That's it. We will restore back. What? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So they say go see Carrie March straight away.
D-52 proceeding to Carrie March residence. Over.
1040-52.
1040-52. Oh, thank you, Dee.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you wet. Oh, I have some information I think you'll find of interest.
Thanks, Mrs. March. But let's begin the interview officially. Your name and occupation?
Carrie March. I'm widowed.
I'm widowed.
And what is it you think might help our investigation?
Yes, well, you see, everyone knows that Anna left Roy Moon to marry Jack Gordon. That's yesterday's papers. But what isn't so well known is that Jack left his wife, too. Karen Gordon. And Karen had been a friend of Anna's. That's how she met Jack. Karen was furious.
Fierce enough to seek revenge?
Oh, well, that's something I'd rather not speculate about. Although I must say, Karen's indignation rang a little hollow. I mean, she was having an affair of her own with Ed Snyder.
The man behind the casino.
The very same. Karen and Jack had always been something of an odd couple. I mean, Karen's so outgoing and Jack is, well, he's so bookish. Frankly, if I were Jack, I would have left Karen ages ago because of the chain smoking alone. And it's those horrible clove cigarettes. Detestable things, aren't they?
Cool. And you were saying about Anna?
Anyway, you were saying about Anna?
Well, I wonder if her real interest wasn't in that young anti-casino activist, Paul Bellin, I believe.
Is there anything else?
Paul Belland.
Well, Anna was giving Sonny Two Feathers fits, but then she wasn't the only one taking a stand against the casino.
I squirt.
Sonny's working with Ed Snyder, isn't that right? Well, they both want the casino plans approved, but I'm not sure you could say they're working together. I mean, Sonny represents the Indian faction that supports the project, and Ed is, well, in it purely for the money. But the casino makes the only ones to get you wet. There's Frank Delgado, for instance.
Why is I squirt so big? Well, I squirt. I just figured it takes over the world.
The Delgado Gallery?
He had been Anna's dealer for the longest time. Now, a lot of people give Frank the credit for Anna's skyrocketing success. Quite the savvy marketer. And then, out of the blue, Anna left him 3 months ago.
Left the gallery for another middleman?
Given the growing demand for her work, she felt she could sell directly to collectors, but That's only half the story. Anna and Frank had a knockdown drag-out at the Mesa Cafe just 10 days ago.
Did you overhear this?
You overheard the argument?
No, it was impossible not to. Frank said Anna still owed him 2 pots. He said if she stiffed him, he'd destroy her.
Ooh.
Anna just laughed at
withering.
him. Poor Frank, you should have seen his face. Last time I saw that shade of crimson was on one of Anna's pots.
His warning that he'd destroy her, was he any more explicit?
Well, he stopped short of a death threat, if that's what you mean, but I'd certainly talk to him if I were you.
Cool. So where were you between 10 and 2 a.m.?
Oh, and by the way, where were you between 10 and 2 a.m. on the night in question?
I was murdering her.
You think I could have been involved? How positively wicked. I was home in bed. You'll have to check with Mildred, my cook. She always brings me salsa and homemade chips around 11. Instant heartburn.
And then we...
The wages of gluttony.
If you think of anything else, please don't hesitate to give us a call.
Comments?
Bet she'd love to come in for a lineup, just for the thrill of it. Probably ask for the handcuffs, too.
Oh boy. Okay, apparently the comments decided to kill the game. Let's reopen that. Restore. Okay, so we'll hopefully get through that
D52 proceeding
conversation
to Carey
real quick.
March residence. Over.
Hey, Nick!
104052.
How you doing? I heard you're getting our co-worker back.
Officers. Oh, I'm so glad you responded to my call. I have some information I think you'll find of interest.
Thanks, Mrs. March. Well, let's begin the interview officially. Your name and occupation?
Carey March. I'm widowed.
She's still mine for another week, though, Nix. She's mine. Alright.
And what is it you think...
Come on.
Anyway, you were
We
saying
won't ask for
about
comments
Anna?
this time.
Well...
Sonny's working with Ed
Because it
Snyder,
crashed
isn't
the
that
game.
right?
She might pounce, yes.
The Delgado Gallery?
Delgado.
You've been...
You overheard the argument?
No, it was impossible not to.
Yeah. Where were you, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah, blah.
and by the way, where were you between 10 and 2 a.m.? If you think of anything else, please don't hesitate to give us a call.
Cool. We won't ask you for comments, though, Detective Nice Guy. I'll go with acquaintance. Motive, none. Do I bother trying to get an alibi for this woman? There's no way she's done it. I won't bother wasting police resources on her. Alright, so, we have message. Mail. Okay, so we've got cigarettes.
The
What we
cigarette butt's from a clove cigarette. There are sebaceous residues, but they're too corrupted for us to get a clean print. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Interesting, clove cigarettes, because I believe Jack Gordon's wife, ex-wife, smoked those.
Phone records show that Anna Elkmoon placed 3 phone calls from her studio on the afternoon before the murder. One to Astrid Ames at 2:35, 1 minute. One to Von Dressner, 2:48, 3 minutes. And one to Joey Detta, 3:36, 6 minutes.
6 minutes. So many choices. So many choices. Let's go see the ex-husband.
We're proceeding to Roy Elkmoon's residence, over.
Okay, D52, copy.
Is he home? Is he home? There he
Mr.
is.
Moon, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
Oh boy.
Can we get your name for the record?
I'm fucking Roy Elkmoon.
Roy Elkmoon.
And your relation to the deceased?
Slow on the uptake, ain't you?
Indulge me.
I killed her.
I'm Anna's ex-husband. Last year's model. She's got herself a new set of wheels.
Do you know she's dead?
Of course, they don't make them like they used to. If she'd lived, she'd have figured that out.
Oh no, you do. Any idea who might have done it before I get into your spousal abuse?
Any idea who might have done it?
Hell, you're the detective.
You tell me.
Anna couldn't help but make waves. Never knew when to leave well enough alone. Always pushing and pushing.
Like she pushed you?
You got something to say it.
What's your beef?
What's your beef with Jack Gordon?
What's your beef?
I mean, Mr. Instant Red Man, he's the one that turned Anna against me. One day she does a guest lecture thing in one of his classes. Next thing I know, she's seeing him more than she's seeing me. It was obvious what was going on.
They shacked up.
When did you last see Anna?
Why do I get the feeling you already know the answer to that?
I'd like to hear it from you.
Mm-hmm.
After the casino meeting, we talked.
Talked or argued?
We were doing fine until that scum took a swing at me.
Woo!
Yanked Anna away and forced her into the car.
I understand you kicked the car as they pulled out.
That was a
Who told you
message for
that?
the white man behind the wheel,
Oh.
not Anna.
And maybe you followed them home to finish delivering your message.
That's a load.
Oh
I
shit.
came right straight back here. Ask the neighbors. If you want my opinion, Jack was mad enough to kill.
Oh.
Fact is, Anna was about to settle with me, and that pissed him off big time. You ever thought of the possibility that maybe the great white professor murdered his Indian wife and then hid the pots to make it look like a burglary?
No, it sounds too easy, I think. Yeah, how do you know there were pots missing?
How'd you know there were pots missing?
Shit.
I'm a freaking genius.
Sure. So you got a record of spousal abuse?
You've got a record of spousal abuse. Anna had to be hospitalized on one occasion.
You're lucky, nice guy. You get one shot at a good woman in this life. I blew mine. I made a lot of mistakes. That's for damn sure. But I never stopped loving Anna. Which is more than I can say for that bottom feeder she's married to now.
Well, I suppose technically they're not married anymore. Come on, Detective Nice Guy, give me clues with clues. Give me your comments without killing the game this time.
Honorary SOB. Guy beats his wife, she dumps him, and wham. He lets her have it big time. He's looking pretty guilty to me.
Is he though? Ex-husband. What was that? Husband's ex-wife. I mean, I can. Yeah, he can have a motive with that, actually. Revenge, jealousy. Might as well get a alibi for him. Oh hey, mail already.
I just got another call from the governor's office. He says his constituents are bombarding him. Now, I told him you two were getting very close.
But we literally just started this. Chief. Let's go see the ex-wife.
On our way to see Karen Gordon, over.
1040-52.
1040-52.
Your name, please, and your occupation?
My name is Karen Gordon. I'm Jack Gordon's ex-wife. And if I'd had any sense, I'd have ditched the name when he ditched me. What else? Oh, yes, I sell real estate.
Oh, nice.
Do you mind if I smoke?
No.
What type of cigarettes do you smoke?
Do you still love Jack Gordon?
He's single.
Oh, please, Mr. Night Sky, I do have my character flaws, but masochism does not happen to be one of them. Besides, there is another man in my life now, okay?
Oh. Tell me about him.
That a clove cigarette?
This is one of my vices, yes. Why?
There was a clove cigarette butt found at the crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
What are you suggesting, officer?
You did it.
That I had something to do with Anna's murder?
Yep.
Look, there may have been a time where I would have fantasized about it. Oh, yeah. But that was a long time ago. Look, I don't even know how to fire a gun.
Oh. So you were a former friend of the victim? Yeah, how'd you know Anna was shot?
How did you know Anna was shot?
Have you seen the news? It's not exactly a secret.
Oh,
well, then go ahead. Search the house for the murder weapon.
Whoa, closer.
Can you please account for your whereabouts between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. the night of the murder?
10 p.m. to 2 p.m. Yeah, I was at home till about 10:40. And then I left to meet Ed Snyder and the gang at the Ocotillo.
Oh,
Me and
nice.
Ed left together around midnight.
And then we fucked.
Ed Snyder's the new man in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been seeing each other for a while. Is that a crime?
Maybe. I mean, no count for taste. You won't waste more time with you. You know nothing. You're dumber than a rattlesnake. I mean, I'll put that in because it could still be. But I don't think she did it. I don't think she did it at all. Oh, message from the Great Giant Head. Oh, forensics glass.
The liquid traces in the broken glass are Scotch, and we matched it to old grouse. The fingerprints on the glass were a positive match with the victim's husband, Jack Gordon.
Well, he probably maybe he came in drinking and then found her and then dropped it.
Roy's alibi stinks. He says he came back home, back to the shack, right after the hearing. And he did. But what he didn't say is that he left again right after that.
No.
His neighbor tells me this and then chases me off the pueblo with his .22.
Oh. Wow. How do I get back? Map? There we go. We will go and see Astrid Ames, who gave us the pot.
heading to Astrid Ames' residence.
Gave
Over.
us the pot. Gave Karen the... Gave Anna the pot.
I'm sorry, but Mrs. Ames can't see you now. She's quite distraught over Miss Elboon's death. She's resting on doctor's
She's one of those women.
Then may we speak with you briefly?
Certainly.
I don't know what I can
Please,
tell you, though.
Sit down.
Shit down.
You're Mrs. Ames' housekeeper?
Assistant. I have been faithfully at her side for almost 17 years.
Oh, so you're dating, right?
Did you know the victim?
I didn't know her. Mrs. Ames owns several of her pots, and Miss Elkmoon was cleaning a pot for us in preparation for returning it to the Santa Vera Pueblo.
Mm-hmm.
There's some indication the pot may have been a motive for the murder.
That pot has brought nothing but grief to Mrs. Ames.
Grief? In what way?
Oh, well, it's not for me to say, but... Well, Mrs. Ames has had a difficult time with her only living relative, a nephew, Ronald Ames. when the story came out in the
Fucking
newspaper
Ronnie.
about Mrs. Ames returning the pot to the Indians, he came over and exploded at his aunt. Said she had no right to give it away, and that he forbid it.
He forbid it! Oh. I just literally finished sipping Diddy, so we'll count that as that.
Did Miss Moon call Mrs. Ames any time on the day she was murdered?
Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Not that I'm aware of.
But she did. Where were you at the time of the murder?
Where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in bed with Astrid. I mean, what?
Oh, Miss Carrie March, a friend of Mrs. Ames, came by for drinks at 6:30. Afterward, Mrs. Ames and I ate dinner by the fire. Then I read to her until 10:30, and she fell asleep.
In my arms. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Did he have any say in the matter?
But the pot was left to Astrid. Oh, forgive me, Mrs. Ames, by her sister, Bernice. Ronald Ames' mother. She died several years ago. And the poor woman foolishly promised her son that Astrid would leave the pot to him in her will.
And she did not.
I mean, before she offered to return it to the Pueblo.
I don't know. But I do know that Ronald Ames is a greedy, selfish young man. He accused her of squandering his inheritance. And that's when she asked him to leave.
Cool.
Did Ron Ames know the pot was being cleaned by Anna Elkmoon?
Anna cleaned and restored several pots for Mrs. Ames in the past. He could have guessed as much.
Was the pot insured?
Was the pot insured?
No.
I gather it's quite a financial loss on top of everything else.
Naturally, that's why we're hoping you can recover it.
And hopefully not get smashed in the evidence lockup.
Any idea how much the pot is worth?
Oh, its only value to Mrs. Ames was aesthetic, but I understand it's priceless.
Yes. Okay, cool, thanks.
We'll call on Mrs. Ames later on. Thanks for your help.
You're more than welcome.
Comments, Detective Nice Guy?
Now that's a pleasant woman. Mean enough to shoot her own mother.
Oh. Wow. I'm gonna say acquaintance. So they've been. This woman's got no need for a alibi verification. Ooh, she ate up a lot of time there.
There's been an anonymous tip that a green Econoline van was parked outside the Elkmoon residence the night of the murder. We're running a 2089 registration check on all in-state green Econoline vans in the Santa Fe area, and we'll email you the results via your PDA.
Cool, thanks. Ooh, dirt.
The dirt tracked around the crime scene is interesting. First, it doesn't come from anywhere in the vicinity, not the grounds or the garden. And it does have a high iron content, hence the reddish color. It also has more sand than the earth surrounding the Elkmoon studios. But here's the other thing. It contains a large amount of phosphate-based fertilizer. But I checked with Jack Gordon, who said his wife didn't use them. I confirmed that with a control analysis. Whoever killed Anna Elkmoon probably wasn't an organic gardener.
Interesting. Let's go and see.
D52, we're on our way to Paul Balin's office. Over.
Okay, D52, copy.
Have a seat.
Oh, thanks, man.
I was hoping you'd come. This is about Anna, right?
Yes, Mr. Balin, it is.
Did you find the dirtbag who did this?
Well, we're still in the information gathering mode.
Thank you, Matt Mercer from
Ed
Wish.
Snyder and Sonny Two Feathers? They'd steamroll their own grandmothers if they thought this casino plan could get passed.
Cool.
Mr. Balin, exactly what was your connection to Anna Elkmoon?
Okay, I'm coming.
We shared a common goal. She didn't want to see her people's culture trashed, and I didn't want to see a pristine corner of New Mexico ruined forever. There's no water. There's no infrastructure. It's a recipe for environmental disaster.
Oh.
So that's it? You were political bedfellows?
An actual bedfellows?
I assume you were also at the public hearing. What happened afterward?
Well, we'd arranged to go over some strategy for the upcoming vote. We agreed that I'd come over to the studio late.
Oh.
But when I arrived, I realized that there was someone else there.
Oh. Interesting. Tell me more.
So someone visited her after the meeting?
Yeah. There was a green Econoline van parked outside.
We had heard about that.
So, I realized that our meeting could wait for a better time.
What time was that?
12:10, 12:15, sometime around then.
That's very late to go visit someone that you're apparently just friends with.
Do you remember any numbers or letters on the license plate?
No. It's just in-state plates, that's all.
Cool.
And after you drove away?
I went home. I have a roommate. She saw me come in.
He has a roommate. He does look guilty as fuck.
Are you accusing either one of them of her murder?
Well, I have no proof. But I believe they were tied up in it, yes.
He believed bondage was involved.
Okay. Thanks for your help. We'll be in touch.
Comments, Detective Nice Guy?
Political bedfellows? Way I see it, Paul Balin finds Mr. Greenvan over there doing a little voting of his own. And Anna gets the big veto.
Wait, what? I'll say friend for now. Because he's not really a co-worker. They're not working for each other. But confirm the alibi anyway. Oh. Oh, day 3.
Let's check the evidence.
Are we checking to see if the evidence of if they went to Bone Town? Day 3. No doubt the chief's gonna be like, what the fuck, man? Oh, van trace. Here we go.
3 green Ford Econolines are registered in the area. 2 here and 1 in Albuquerque. But that one's a conversion van with customized windows. Of the 2 here, 1 is registered to Tom McHorse. The other is registered to a corporation, FG Limited. FG Limited is owned by Frank Delgado.
So she used to work for Frank Delgado. So that's possible. But I think we'll go check out this McHorse. McHorse. Aha!
D52, we're on our way to see Tom McHorse, over.
Okay, 10-4 D52.
Mr. McHorse?
McHorse, we need to talk to you about Anna Elkmoon.
Yeah? She can rot in hell. I ain't seen her since she fired me. Gotta be 4 months ago.
What? You didn't visit her in her studio?
Then you didn't
Also,
visit
hello,
her
Nick.
studio late on the night of her death?
No, I didn't even know she bought the big one.
Where have you been? Under a rock?
You just said she could rot in hell.
Say that.
Alright, have you had a run-in with her?
You had a run-in with Anna Elkmoon that got you fired, is that right?
She said I was doing drugs. That's a big lie.
Big
She didn't
lie.
pay me enough to buy drugs.
So maybe you wanted to get back at her.
If you're saying I killed her, that's a bunch of BS. She ain't worth the trouble. Got better things than to worry about that woman.
Well, thank you for asking me if I want to smoke some things, Mr. Pony Man. Where were you on the 11th?
Where were you on the night of the 11th?
Nervous? I don't know. Drinking, I guess.
What day is it
Probably
today?
tomorrow. I don't quite remember. I've been kind of out of it lately.
Oh. Do you have a gun?
You carry a gun, Mr. McCourse?
I had a run-in with the law a few years back. They took away all my guns. Don't need them anyways. I'm not such a good shot. But I do take out a coyote now and then.
You take out a coyote now and then, but you don't, because you don't have a gun no more.
Look, I gotta go. Phone's ringing. Maybe we can do this some other time.
Yes, the phone is ringing. Good work that you recognized that the phone was ringing.
Oh, he did it. Problem is, he wouldn't know if he shot someone or if they shot him.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say employee, although they're not actually revenge. Give me an alibi, thank you. Who do I want? Oh, first I'm gonna sub. So let's go see.
We're on our way to Frank Delgado's gallery. Over.
10-4.
Have we played a game that had a Jack Delgado? It's just something about the name.
Formalities we have to get out of the way. Your name and occupation?
Frank Delgado. I own this gallery. We sell Indian art, both old and new.
Preferably old.
Mr. Delgado, let's get straight to the point. We hear that you were displeased with Anna's decision to leave your gallery, that you became verbally abusive and you even threatened her.
That's absurd. I was upset, of course. I had invested thousands of hours in Anna's career and reputation. I had a right to be upset. But threaten her?
At the Mesa Cafe 2 weeks ago?
Who told you that? That old harpy, Carrie March? The
yeah.
fact is, detectives, Anna owed me 2 more pots by contract. But what she delivered was second rate. And I told her so.
You're only second rate.
Why did Anna leave the gallery?
Anna said she wanted me to decide between selling old and new material. But the truth is that was just a ruse. What she really wanted was to find a dealer that would settle for a substantially smaller commission. That was Anna's dirty little secret. Money. It all came down to money.
My money.
According to county records,
we have played this game before, but if you remember, there was a incident in the evidence logger.
Yes, my company owns a van. We use it for business purposes only. I don't own it personally.
When was the last time the van was used?
About 2 weeks ago, we drove it to Don Juan's for a new fuel line.
Interesting.
Can you tell us your whereabouts on the night of Anna's death?
Also, hello, Tortoise.
I was appraising a collection in Albuquerque. I didn't come back until the following day.
Interesting, alright.
Were you aware that Anna was cleaning a rare pot for Astrid Ames?
No, I didn't hear about that until rumors started swirling after the murder. Everyone worth their salt in this business has heard about the Santa Vera Kiva pot at one time or another.
What about the ancient Kiva itself?
Personally, I don't put much stock in its existence. Every corner of this state has been scoured by pot hunters.
Pot hunted?
Needless to say, no one has tried to sell the Kiva pot to you?
If anyone is foolish enough to think I'd buy it, I'll let you know, Detective.
Cool.
Thanks for your input. It's been most enlightening.
Likewise.
Detective? Night Sky?
We got our man. Think he was going to let
everyone
Anna
does
walk
it?
when she hit the big time? No way. She gets too uppity and wham.
Ram Bam, thank you, man. He's an art dealer. Grade. Ooh, we have mail.
Detectives, we have a tip that a green Econoline van has just been spotted outside the liquor store on Arroyo Blanco and 14th.
Okay.
You two get over there pronto. We don't want that driver to get away.
Sweet.
On the torso, I found there were no signs of struggle or physical assault. No defensive injuries, no bruising, other than post-mortem blood pooling. My guess is that she knew her killer, or that she was taken by surprise before having a chance to resist. Otherwise, there's a good chance we'd see scratching, foreign skin under the fingernails, that type of thing. From liver temperature, blood pooling, and rigor state, I'd put the time of death between midnight and 12:45 a.m. And by the way, the autopsy shows the victim did not smoke.
Cool beans. Her husband said that. I will look at the alibi afterwards. Where's the liquor store? Ha! The liquor store.
D52 to the liquor store. Over.
Copy.
The liquor. Ah. Sorry, no, I had a sudden flash because I remember when I was in Sydney one time with Dave, and we went past a sign that literally said "lick her." Oh,
Tom, of course.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, what do you want? Can we take a look in your van?
Go ahead, you got nothing to hide. What's this? What the hell, man? Where'd that come from?
It's all
Hands
the
on the
parts.
door. Tom, of course, I'm placing you under arrest for the murder and the robbery of Anna Elkmoon. You have
Oh,
the
no.
right to remain silent.
You're crazy, man.
Anything
I'm
you
telling
say
you, man.
can and will be
It's a
used
mistake.
against you in
No
a
way,
court of
man.
law.
So I guess now we got to prove that. Okay, we're gonna save here because. Let's look at.
Ballistics show
Oh, hey,
rifling
Whitney.
marks consistent with a gun that killed Elkmoon. This was definitely the murder weapon.
Nice.
A computer trace shows the gun was stolen from a man in Albuquerque over 3 years ago.
Oh.
I guess you guys would call this a safe gun. No way to make a positive link to anyone, since the original burglary is still on the books as unsolved. There's definitely some hinky about all this.
Hinky. Hinky white jinkies. Some gloves. The labedem pot. Ah, here's the Santa Vera pot. The Lammy pot. The Patricia cup. And of course, Le gun.
Paul Bellen's alibi is confirmed. His roommate says he showed up at 11:30 and they watched Leno together. There's no way he committed the murder.
Not with that thinking.
I swear, I don't know how that stuff got into my van. Not a
I
clue.
don't know, man. Yeah. What were you doing on the 9/11th again?
Where were you on the night of the 11th?
I told you, I was at the Segura bar all night. I arrived there around 8.
I laugh
I
at the
was there,
story.
I swear. Ask them. They'll tell you.
Then what did you do?
Drove to Santa Fe.
Why? Were you trying to flee Santa Vera?
No, I was gonna hit some bingo parlors like I did most weekends. Problem was, I was
Bingo.
driving too well. So I checked into a motel. Quick 7. I really didn't start feeling very good till this morning.
Do you smoke clove cigarettes?
Of course. Do you smoke clove cigarettes?
Sometimes.
Oh.
I have a smoke, do you?
I quit. How did the stolen artifacts get into your van?
I don't know. Somebody must have put him there.
And the gun?
Never seen it before.
Cool. No further questions.
Man, don't I have a right to have a lawyer?
Yeah. Sure.
Here's a piece of paper.
D52, the chief requests that you proceed to his office ASAP.
Cool. Thanks. Ooh, Frank Delgado.
Delgado only wishes he had even half an alibi. He insists he stayed at the Best Western in Albuquerque the night of the murder, but there is no record of it.
Oh. Chief? Chief, how do I get to your office? There we go.
Listen.
Outside, for some reason.
I'm getting heat from the Federation for Indian Rights. Now that Astrid Ames's pot has been recovered, they want it delivered to the shaman Joe Adetta at your earliest convenience.
Okay, so we go do that now.
Which I'm telling you is right now.
Yes, sir, because if we wait any longer, then, goddamn, lockup will
Proceeding
destroy
to Joe
it.
Data's residence, over.
Copy that, D52.
So we're up to the point that we lost the game last time, because,
We found the missing pot in the possession of someone who may have killed Anna. Chief Weber wanted us to give it to you, as Miss Ames intended. But the D says it could be subpoenaed in a preliminary hearing.
Thank you.
you take care of that, because our evidence lockup would
This
not.
is not the pot.
What?
It's a counterfeit.
Oh, shit.
A fake. And not a very good one at that. There's a dozen potters in town that could have turned this out in an afternoon.
A fake? Are you sure?
The sacred pot. The real one has a great, great spirit. This one, it's empty. Devoid of spirit.
So you don't actually have any evidence. It's
Tom McCourse's alibi checks out, and he has now been released from custody.
Okay.
We may now re-interview all suspects. To issue an arrest warrant, we must proceed back to headquarters. But remember, we've only got one shot at making an arrest.
We've still got 2 days. Day 4. Because, yeah, if we hadn't have done that meeting, we would have gotten to this next day and be like, oh, sorry, we kind of smashed the pot. Ooh. Message? Oh,
The
forensics.
receipt is for Anna Elkmoon's restoration services for cleaning the historic Kiva pot, which Astrid Ames was going to return to the Pueblo. I found both Elkmoon and Ames' fingerprints on the receipt, along with some clay traces from her studio. Too bad that pot is missing. A priceless artifact
It's
like
not.
that sure put some pressure on the chief to find out who did this.
Is the Kiva pot still missing? Didn't we just recover? I mean, like, he reckons it was a counterfeit, but that's only his feeling. That's not actual evidence, man. That ain't evidence. Day 4. Let's speak to Ronald, the
D52
nephew.
proceeding to Ronald Ames' residence, over.
Okay, 10-4 D52.
This one.
Your name and occupation?
Ron Ames. I'm a carpenter here in Santa Fe.
You working now?
I'm finishing up an addition on Frank Delgado's house on
Oh.
Portrero.
So you would have access to his van, in a way.
Did you know Anna Elkmoon?
Well, I know her work. Seen her around town, but I don't know her personally.
Did you know she was cleaning the pot?
Did you know she was cleaning a pot from your aunt's collection?
I don't get it. Is that somehow connected to the murder?
Let me ask you this, Mr. Ames. We understand you quarreled with your aunt over her wanting to return that pot to the Santa Vera Pueblo Indians.
Who told you that? No doubt the ever-vigilant dragon lady.
Whee!
I got along great with my aunt until Inga decided that she didn't like me. For the past 3 years, she's done everything in her power to poison Astrid against me. Yeah,
They're
it's me.
sleeping
She's just
together.
hanging around waiting for my aunt to die. She figures she'll inherit
rude.
everything.
Do you deny the argument took place?
No. No. It was a very personal thing. That pot belonged to my mother. It was the only thing of value she had when she died. Years ago, she willed it to Astrid, never believing that Astrid would outlive her. When my mother was on her deathbed, Astrid promised she would leave it to me. Unfortunately, she reneged.
Apparently, yes. Did you steal it?
Did you steal the pot?
Oh, please. And murder Anna Elkmoon to boot? Are you nuts? I mean, sure, I want what rightfully belongs to me, but I'm not going to risk a jail sentence to get it. Much less kill someone.
I just want to eat my avocado.
Where were you between 10 and 2 on the night of the murder?
We were at a party at my wife's folks' house in
Oh.
Pecos. We stayed the night, drove home the next day.
I was not getting wife vibe from him.
Thanks. Appreciate the help. We'll be in touch if we have any other questions.
Anytime. Say hi
Anytime.
to my aunt if you see her. Assuming you can get past the dragon at the gate.
We are the police.
Ron wants that pot real bad, and it's not because it reminds him of dear old Mom.
Well, he did say it was worth the only thing she had of value. Really none, because he said they never met. But he would have robbery? Is robbery a motive? Confirm that alibi, please. Oh, we have mail.
The phone was wiped clean of prints, which seems highly unusual. The intruder must have made a call and then wiped it down. I would definitely order a phone trace to check all the calls that were made from the studio on the day of the murder.
Yes, actually, link to file. Where are you? Dirt, glass, bullet wound, journal, phone. Where's the phone trace? But we've done that. Where's the...
The phone was wiped clean of prints, which seems highly unusual. The intruder must have made a call and then wiped it down.
My wife,
definitely
Budweiser.
order a phone trace to check all the calls that were made from the studio on the day of the murder.
We did that. I'm just trying to remember who the last call was. It was a 6-minute call. Ah, phone trace, here we go. Oh, but that was 3:36 though. Alright, we'll go check out Sunny Two Feathers.
D-52 proceeding to Sunny Two Feathers on the Pueblo, over.
How many feathers do you reckon he's going to have on him?
Night Sky, Mr. NYPD Red. How are you? What can I do for you?
You can tell me why you did it.
We're here about Anna Elkmoon's murder.
Yeah, that's a real shame. I heard about that this morning. She was
Just
a
this
real
morning?
hero to a lot of the young ones. I don't know what I could tell you, though, that you don't already know.
She was a pretty fierce opponent of your plans for the casino of the Ancient Ones.
Misguided, like a lot of folks. But I didn't take it personally. You don't last too long in Pueblo politics if you take it personally.
Cool.
So, you weren't party to any effort to get back at her?
Come on, Night Sky, you know better than that. Indians don't kill Indians. White men kill Indians.
Whoa, that's a hefty accusation.
I understand she spoke out at the casino meeting and got a pretty positive reaction.
Who'd you talk to? Her sidekick? That Belen boy? I tell you, I heard as many hisses as I did cheers. The irony is, Anna probably helped us more than she hurt us. She's not exactly Miss Popularity out here. Not since she took a hard line on expanding the Indian market.
You're saying to me you're glad she came out against the casino?
Well, a lot of folks think Anna wanted to have her cake and to eat it too.
Mm.
But folks around here know that the casino means a steady income, a chance to educate the kids. Anna's already made her bundle. It's easy to talk about slowing progress when you tool around town in a Mercedes.
So you know which car she drove in.
What about the Santa Vera market?
Half the Indian population in Santa Vera makes its livelihood from the Indian market, directly or indirectly. If you get excluded from that, you might as well move out of town. But you know me, Night Sky. I'm not about to point my finger at any brother.
Like Raymond Wolfwalker, for instance?
You said it. I didn't.
The Wolfwalker. Where is the Wolfwalker?
What's your connection to Ed Snyder?
Ed's the man that's going to bring prosperity to the Pueblo.
I understand there have been some tensions between the two of you lately?
Well, Ed's a businessman, looking out for his own interests. There's nothing wrong with that. But I've got responsibilities to my own people. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Cool.
Where were you on the night of the murder between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.?
Well, we were in meetings after the public hearing until about 11. And then me and a couple of the boys went over to the Bristlecombe bar to have some drinks and stayed till about midnight. That's it. I got home about 1 a.m.
Cool.
Thanks for your time, Two Feathers.
Much obliged. Say, we could still use your support for the casino, if you'd like to volunteer sometime.
No thanks, man. No thanks.
I've never trusted that guy. He'd sell out in a second if he had the chance.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he basically is trying to. Acquaintance. I don't think he's gonna murder killer, but first has that alibi, so. Ooh, mail. We enjoy some mail.
Astrid Ames has just been shot.
What?
The chief requests that you proceed to her residence ASAP.
You've been on this case long enough to start showing some results.
What?
I'm getting heat you wouldn't believe. Now, the next time we talk, I want to hear there's been a breakthrough or somebody's going to be busted down to clerical.
So, someone's just been shot, man.
Ron Ames could be in real trouble. His
Oh, boy.
alibi is a lie. He
Oh,
didn't
boy.
stay in Red Rock with his family.
Oh, boy.
Ditched them and drove back to Santa Fe alone, somewhere between 11:45 to 12:15.
Oh,
Driving
boy.
fast, he could have made it into Anna's studio just in time for murder.
Just in time for murder.
The only fingerprints in the artist's journal that we could find are Anna Elkmoon's own. A copy of the journal can be found in the evidence files in your PDA if you want to take a closer look. The drawings in there might hold some significance.
Cool. Moida. Interesting enough, she calls herself Anne Elkmoon instead of Anna. The
only fingerprints in the artist's journal that we could find are Anna Elkmoon's own. A copy of the journal can be found in the evidence files in your PDA if you want to take a closer look. The drawings in there might hold some significance.
Yeah. So they say.
D-52 heading to Astrid Ames' residence. Over.
ASAP.
Capiche?
The doctor has asked that you keep this brief. This has put a terrible stress on Mrs. Ames' heart.
Nonsense. You think
Yep,
I was at
lovers,
death's door.
for sure. What happened?
Mrs. Ames, can you tell us what happened?
Well, I was sitting at my desk near the window that faces the street. I was going over my papers that inventory my collection when I heard a gunshot really close by. It nearly knocked me off my chair. Well, I saw the shattered window first, and then the hole in the wall.
And then the hole in my body.
I heard a car squealing off. A few feet closer, and I wouldn't be talking to you.
And you didn't see who was in the car?
No, I was sitting with my back to the window. Although it may just be the last time that I do.
Oh.
Were you in the house, Miss Mueller?
No, I had an errand to run.
A likely story.
Who might want to assault you like this?
Oh, God only knows. Maybe it was the same scoundrel who murdered Anna.
Phone records indicate that Anna called here on the afternoon she died. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, it was on my answering machine. I'm sorry. I didn't mention it. But by the time I tried to return it the next day...
She was dead.
It was too late for Anna.
oh, what a frame to stop it on. Wink. Alright, I want to go speak to Frank again, because he's...
We're on our way to Frank Delgado's gallery, over.
She squirts! Oh, she has indeed squirted. Frank, you've been telling Porkies.
I do everything I can.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you wet.
First, I ask about Providence. If the story doesn't ring true, I let it go. Kind of a gut sense. And I have bought material that I later learned was stolen.
No.
I explained that. Sometimes I'm wrong. Aren't you wrong sometimes, officer?
Maybe not about you.
Yes, my company owns a van. You for business purposes only. I don't own it personally.
When was the last time the van was used?
About 2 weeks ago, we drove it to Don Juan's for a new fuel line.
Don Juan. Oh no, it's day 5. Because what I'm kind of feeling is I kind of feel like, you know, what's it called? Ron Ames and Frank Delgado have kind of gone together. Day 5. Is the boss. Oh no, here we go.
No, Mr. Two Feathers has no alibi. He left the Bristlecone bar at midnight and didn't make it home until 1. The drive should have taken him half an hour. Where's the missing half hour?
This is a good question. Who to go and see now? Who is Von Dresner again?
Heading to Von Dresner's residence, over.
10-4.
Oh, hang on. Let me save before we waste time speaking to this man.
Your name and vocation?
Vaughn Dresner. I'm curator of the Lascaux Institute of American Indian Art here in Santa Fe. I gather you're investigating the death of Anna Elk Moon.
Yes, we know she called you.
We know
That's right,
from
she did.
telephone records that she placed a call to this office on the afternoon she died.
Yes, she did. She called about the pot she was cleaning for Astrid Ames.
So you had some prior familiarity with the pot?
I'd first heard of it when I was a graduate student, more than 30 years ago. It's an extremely important and rare artifact, a seminal work of the late Anasazi period, a key transition piece that influenced many pots made afterwards.
Have you seen the pot before?
Had you seen it before?
Interesting you should ask that. Actually, no. I'd seen photographs, of course. Back in the 40s, it was owned by somebody in Texas, and that was the last anybody had ever heard of it, as far as I was aware. The fact that it turned up right here in my own backyard came as a complete surprise to me.
You must have been delighted.
That it was still around, yes. But it's something of an affront to the archaeologic and academic communities, great pieces in private hands. It's a pet peeve of mine, I'm afraid. It's unconscionable. And the tragedy now is that it may never come into the public domain again.
Cool. Could the value of the pot be a motive?
There's some speculation that the value of the pot might provide a motive for someone to kill Anna.
I'm afraid that's beyond my expertise.
Cool.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Dresner.
What I was thinking... let's get going, because we don't just go with acquaintance. I don't think he did. I don't think he's... Because we've got the library available, and remember, like, what's it called? Joe Edna reckons the pot was a fake. And we've got the book, so let's see if it can tell us about it.
D52 heading to the library.
Maybe that we can see why there's a fake. Inconceivable. Unconscionable. Oh, alright. What we got here? We got protesters. Oh, hello. El Cantor. Santa Fe local business Ed Snyder, the controversial developer of the Santa Vera Casino project, was confronted with a picket line outside his latest development, the El Cantor Estates. Owners and tenants were protesting lack of service and repairs in the mid-range price condominiums. El Canto Estates is the premier housing opportunity in Santa Fe. Golf course, indoor and outdoor pools, laundry and grocery service. Snyder counted that he is proud of the new development, a green jewel in the hills of Santa Fe. This gated community offers full security with one entrance, security controls and guest registration. Snyder is also the owner of the popular Cigarro and Briscoe Cone bars in the town of Nambe, just outside of Santa Vera Pueblo. Wait, wasn't that where what's it called was? Can't think of his name now. McHorse. I think he said he was out that way that night. We've always offered premium service at El Canto, added Snyder. The tenants are just trying to negotiate better rates with their homeowners' dues. With El Canto close to completion, Snyder is focused on the casino development at the Santa Vera Pueblo. Snyder has been working closely with the Pueblo tribal officers to get the casino development approved by the community. And if all goes well, construction will be breaking ground in 3 months' time, according to Snyder. The proposed casino site is at the base of the double peaks of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Let's see. Gambling a hot topic. Historic pot. Impromptu move. Private collector Astrid Ames has decided to return one of her most prized pieces to the Santa Vera Pueblo, known as the Kiva pot. Native Americans, Indians will be able to rediscover a lost treasure of their culture. Oh, there's much rejoicing on the Pueblo. Tribal Council leader Sonny Two Feathers issued a public statement that Ames was simply returning to the Pueblo Indians what was rightfully theirs to begin with. The pot has not been used in the public by over 5 decades. The ancient pot, believed to be stolen from the lost Kiva site on the Santa Vera Pueblo has been a private collector's since the 1940s. The kiva pot, as it's known, was bequeathed to Ames by her sister, who had in turn obtained the pot from a collector in Texas several decades ago. Collectors and museums had been calling all over the world in hope of exhibiting the kiva pot before it was returned to the Pueblo. This marks the great... I'll show you. This marks the return of the Pueblo of a coveted treasure with great spiritual significance, my people, stated tribal shaman Joe Edna. This is a great day in our history. This particular pot is highly valued for its refined details. The unusual abstract pattern led early Spanish explorers who saw the pot to believe that it might actually be connected to an advanced culture exhibiting higher intelligence or even extraterrestrial ties. The Santa Vera Pueblo's elders planned a tribal celebration in the event of the hopes of attracting the attention to the cause of returning important artifacts to the Pueblos from which they came. The publicity site Ames gave very little details for her reasons to the philanthropic gesture. We got there. Let me look at that. Where's the evidence? Book. Journal. Yeah, it mentioned twin... Oh, there's the Twin Peaks. Do we have a picture of...
Heading back to headquarters, over.
Copy that, D-52.
Oh. Not what I was expecting. So, from what I've been thinking, we have Frank Delgado, who is involved. He's got access to a green common line van. But I don't know if he is involved, like, if he would be, interested enough in the vase to go out after it, or, if it's something to do more with the casino. Because what could have happened is McHorse could have been, high or drunk, and someone's taken his van. So who would have been out that... Oh, you know who we should go speak to? We'll go speak to Ed Snyder.
On our way to see Ed Snyder, over.
Okay, 10-4, D-52.
Suit dog sold the pot due to a misunderstanding, yeah?
Good day, detectives. What can I do for y'all? Coffee for either one of you?
Because I'm wondering if maybe Sonny is involved. Because he would want the vase back, but he'd probably also be like... Maybe we could make some money out of it if I do something.
No thanks, but we would like to ask you some questions about Anna Elkmoon.
Why?
Why?
Am I a suspect in her murder for standing on a different side of the controversy?
Maybe.
We had way too many opponents to kill all of them.
We have to investigate every avenue. We only have a few questions.
Well, I can tell you this. Anna Elkmoon, when it came to reality, had no idea what she was talking about. There's nothing more dangerous than an influential ignoramus.
Cool.
Did you know Elkmoon?
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, I can't say that we ever spoke to one another, but of course
He's
I knew
dating
her,
her husband's ex-wife.
What about your relationship to Karen Gordon?
Do you find that significant, detectives?
Possibly.
We were seeing each other, if that's what you're getting at.
So she's seen your Wang?
Where did you go after the public hearing on the night of Elkmoon's death?
Well, a couple of the guys from the development team. We went to the Ocotillo for drinks. It was around 11. We left about midnight. Fred, the bartender, can confirm that. I was home in bed by 12:30.
Were you alone?
No. Well, Karen joined us at the bar, and we left together. She spent the night.
Thank
She
you,
got
Mr.
lucky,
Snyder.
did she?
We'll be back if we have any other questions.
Anytime, officers.
I was hoping he was going to tell me more about Sonny.
Good old boy likes two things, himself and his cash. And if Anna stood in his way on the casino project, she was messing with both.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Hi.
I think you'll agree I've been pretty patient. Now you're going to have to make your move, but the evidence better be good.
Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Sonny. I reckon it's Sonny.
Heading back to headquarters, over.
Copy that, D-52.
Oh, I need to give him motive. Greed? Or robbery? Let's go with robbery. Okay, incorrect motive. What about greed? Yes! Come on.
D-52 proceeding to Sunny Two Feathers on the Pueblo, over.
10-4, D-52.
Let's see if we arrest him. Hello?
We're looking for Sunny Two Feathers.
Not here.
You know where we can find it?
I'm not too sure.
Find it?
I think he got a call from Ed Snyder just before he left. Maybe he went over there. Thanks. All right.
Where?
On our way to see Ed Snyder, over.
Okay, 10-4, D-52.
Detectives. I'm afraid Mr. Snyder is left for the day. Is there anything I can help you with?
Where did he go?
Well, he didn't tell me. Let me check his book. There's a phone number right here in his handwriting.
What is it?
555-4385.
That's Joe Adata's number. What do you say we go pay Joe a visit?
All right.
Proceeding to Joe Data's residence, over.
Copy that, D-52.
Officers, I'm so glad you came. My grandfather's missing. He went with his coffee to go sit by the river this morning and never returned.
Oh.
All we found was this.
A mug.
This cup.
No other sign?
No. Kathy Sosi, Granddad's neighbor, she said she thought she saw Granddad get into a fancy white car with a man in a cowboy hat.
Okay.
She said they headed out that way. But that just goes deep onto Pueblo land. After a few miles, it's not passable.
What's out there?
Some old Indian ruins, a sweat lodge, and Diablo Canyon.
Oh, sweat lodge.
Diablo Canyon. It's easy to get lost up there, isn't it?
Yes,
this baby's
you have
not
to go
up
on
for it.
foot.
We'll go take a look. Call headquarters if he shows up.
Alright. Oh, here we go. Diablo Canyon.
D-52, we're heading to the canyon, over.
Over, D-52.
All those humps don't lie.
Move it. Now.
Oh no!
Shoot to kill.
Let me see the pot again.
You're stalling. Get going. Move it. Snyder!
Hold it right there.
Well, nice guy. You're smarter than I thought. I'll give you credit for that. Now let's just hope that you're smart enough to turn around and go back to where you came from. Or your friend here is going to have to pay the price.
Well,
Snyder, drop the gun. You don't want to hurt an old man like Adata. What is he to you?
He is my ticket to the Lost Kiva, that's what.
Drawing on the pot?
That's right. Anna realized that the illustration showed a landmark somewhere in this area.
Okay.
And this is the only man who knows which one.
No one knows for sure.
The Kiva's just an old legend. You're chasing a phantom, Snyder. I guarantee it. Now
Mhm.
let the old man go.
No can do. Those Hellraisers find out the Kiva
Oh.
sits under or near my casino site. My plans will come to a grinding halt. I'll be ruined.
Do what the man says, Ed.
Well. There's Anna Elk Moon's killer night sky. Looks like I brought him right to you. And I don't even want a reward.
He put me up to it. I'll swear to that.
Okay.
I had to get rid of Anna. Ed said he would tell the owners about my stake in the casino. I tried to keep the pot away from him, Uncle Joe, but he wanted to get rid of anything that could hurt the deal.
I like how Night Sky's like, I feel like I'm the only detective here right now.
You got what you came for. Now take him and go.
Here's your reward, you son of a...
Oh, okay, well, he had... That looked like a machine gun that he had. What the fuck? Not a machine gun, but, you know, like an automatic Beretta or something. Not Beretta. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, for a second there, I thought he was gonna shoot himself. Oh, shit.
Sonny Two Feathers and Ed Snyder are currently serving life sentences for the murder of Anna Elkmoon. Ed Snyder was also sentenced to 20 years for the kidnapping and assault on Joe Adetta. Based on Sonny's confession, this is what happened.
Okay.
Sonny was with his uncle Joe Adetta the afternoon Anna called Joe. She thought the sacred pot's design with its double peaks could point to the ancient Kiva site at the base of the twin mountains of the Santa Cristos, right where the casino development was planned. That's all the ammunition Anna would need to kill the casino deal. Ed blackmailed Sonny into killing Elkmoon, threatening to reveal Sonny's very substantial stake in the casino development and exposing him as a disgrace to his people. The night of the murder, Sonny found Tom McHorse at the Saguaro bar and drugged him, taking his van to the Elkmoon residence. After midnight, Sonny cornered Anna in her studio and shot her. One bullet straight to the head. He then planted evidence to frame McHorse, including the cigarette butt and the gardener's dirt print laced with phosphates. Sonny had a fake pot made overnight by a potter in the Santa Vera market and stowed the pot in Tom McHorse's van. What neither of the men had counted on was that Sonny's Uncle Joe Adetta would detect the fake. When the frame on McHorse began to unravel, Ed ordered the assault on Astrid Ames to divert suspicion away from casino supporters. Ed Snyder's greed proved to be his undoing. He wanted to plunder the Kiva before burying its secrets forever, but that meant enlisting Joe Adetta to help him find the site. When Sonny found out about it, he knew Ed would never let the old man live, and he had enough blood on his hands already.
Blood!
Sonny's remorse for his crimes were real, but Ed Snyder's only regret was getting caught. Ironically, the casino project was voted down in what a lot of people saw as a sympathy vote for Anna Elkmoon. The ancient pot has been returned to Joe Adetta, shaman of the Santa Vera Pueblo. Whether it ever pointed the way to the famous lost Kiva remains a mystery.
Nice work, you two.
Ha ha ha, motherfucker.
You do your job. My job's a piece of cake.
Oh, so you just
Take
want
a
easy
few
work.
days off, but not too many. You know Santa Fe. It'll only be a few more days before some nutcase out there decides to make our lives interesting again.
Interesting. Oh, Shell and Gillian again! That explains the time mechanic! So she wrote the virtual murder mysteries that we really enjoyed playing previously. And that had the same sort of time dynamic.
Oh, well done.
Thank you, Tortoise. So really, you could see that this is kind of like a Oh, who done it? It was Sonny Two Feathers. And Ed Snyder. So basically the guys that were trying to create the casino. We won't go for too much longer, but I thought we'd watch the intro at least of the next game in this series. Which, Santa Fe. There it is. The other one's called Sacred Ground. Oh, I don't have it installed at the moment. Let's fix that up. But yeah, I think it's interesting that while I was playing it, I'm like, oh no, it was installed. Okay, cool. He was greedy for treasure and more. Yeah, he wanted to be Sonny Three Feathers. But yeah, like this, like it shares enough of a basic design philosophy with the virtual murder mysteries. But I think I prefer the virtual murder mysteries. They're more versatile.
His wife's missing. Looks like kidnapping. Dead for all we know. Press is crawling all over it. It's on the tube right now. Channel 6. Check it out.
Many more questions and answers at this hour surrounding the apparent abduction of Santa Fe socialite and businesswoman Randa Tasker. Her husband Martin Tasker and server Manuel Aroso heard screams late last night. When they went to investigate, Randa Tasker was gone. Tasker refused to speculate on who might be behind any apparent foul play, or whether his wife's disappearance might be connected to last week's arson blaze at her upscale leather goods store. No one has been charged.
Leather goods.
In recent weeks, Martin Tasker has been under attack by local Native American activists who've been protesting his plans to expand the Seven Arrows ski resort. Channel 6 viewers will recall some 30 Indian families being evicted from their homes as bulldozers moved in to make way for timeshare condos and a new $5.5 million lodge. Soon after our arrival early this morning, Channel 6 spoke exclusively to Martin Tasker, who appealed to the party or parties responsible for his wife's abduction. Can we roll that?
Oh wow. Sir, you're in your pajamas.
Whoever's behind this, I don't care. I just want my wife back.
Is this music supposed to be playing?
Anybody has any information about her whereabouts? What happened last night? I am prepared to pay $100,000 for information that would lead to her safe return. And if you can see this, Rhonda, everything's gonna be alright. I promise.
Oh, I like that. What's that called? That
I'm sorry,
it's not necessarily a death.
I want to say right now.
I want to get back into my bed.
That's it from the Tasker estate as we wait for investigators to arrive. This is Teresa Chavez for KITT Channel 6 News reporting.
Love my dog. But you know what drives me nuts? And I know all you
Puppy.
dog owners out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Dog hair. Dog hair everywhere. On the couch, in the carpet, in the bed, in the duvet. I even get it in my beard, and it drives me nuts. I just want to take Jack and ship him off to the SPCA with no return address. But not anymore.
I just kind of feel like this song's been looping. And it's going from scene to scene. Usually, like, for the DOS era, it would stop in between things. Let me just make sure it's not from... Okay, that was switched off. So it is the game. Alright.
Heading back to headquarters, over.
Copy that, D-52.
Ah, detective. I was just grousing about you.
You were grousing about me?
Nice guy here.
Detective?
Of course.
This won't
We've
take
worked
very
together.
long. There's no point in wasting your time here when you could be wasting it out in the field.
Nice.
You're in overall charge of this investigation. But until you get your bearings, I've asked Night Sky to conduct the interrogations. I'm also assigning a Sergeant Rebecca Orlando to help you out. She'll be running down alibis for you. Now, right now, we don't have very much.
This is the sequel, but
We have as much
it's
as
explained
3/4
more
of the
about
team.
the setup than
We
the
got
previous
no
game.
suspects, no ransom demands, and no apparent motive. I emphasize apparent, detectives.
Apparent.
Tasker's not exactly man of the hour around here since he booted those Indians out of their homes.
Oh boy.
That doesn't explain why anyone would go after the wife.
Night Sky, tell him about that gadget you got there, that PDA, personal digital...
Assistant.
Again.
We've been using these in the field. They're
We
great.
have.
The chief or the lab can beep us 24 hours a day.
Okay. If you can't figure it out, you just push the help button. Now, fortunately, gadgets are not going to solve this case for us. Now, you got 5 days, detectives.
I got gadgets and gizmos aplenty.
I've already heard from the suits at the Bureau.
I
They
got
about
oozits
as
and
much
onces.
confidence in me as
Cool.
I got in you. So your job
So,
is to
no
prove
confidence.
us both wrong. All right? Now, go out there. Give them hell.
Detective Rebecca Orlando here, reporting for duty. Detective,
Duty.
forensics will be closing up the crime scene in 7 hours, so you better head over there pronto. You got 5 days to solve the mystery. Talk to Tasker, he's in the main house. Also, the servant Manuel Rosso is in the bungalow to the right.
Yes.
Buena suerte, there's no time to be wasting here in Santa Fe.
Cool.
D-52, proceeding to Tasker Estate, over.
Copy that, D-52.
Ooh. A rogue. There we go. Pills. Did someone stand on it? That's a real big smoosh. I think she had some thingamabobs. I think she was high off her ass on thingamabobs.
I don't know what Chief Weber has told you.
Only that your wife is missing.
Missing. Sounds so benign. If I thought she had ran out on me, I'd actually be relieved.
Oh.
Were there problems between you?
No more so than in any marriage. Randa and I were happy. Delirious, really. Last night we celebrated our 3rd anniversary.
Oh. Not been married super long then.
Why don't we start there?
It was Randa and I and a small group of friends at the Mesa Cafe.
If we might have their names, please.
Well, there was Randa's friend, Carrie March. I'm sure you know Carrie.
Oh, we do know Carrie March.
Carrie. And my physician, Tom McClafferty. Oh, that reminds me. I need to take my medication.
What is it? Cocaine! Woo!
Mark Kennedy. The antique dealer, he was there. And let's see. Oh, yes.
No Frank Delgado?
Free Tibet. One of Randa's wacko artist friends, her invite, not mine. And things were going along fine until Andrew Grissom showed up.
Andrew Gristle? Oh, Grissom.
Another guest?
Hardly. Andrew Grissom is a disgruntled investor.
Oh.
We met at the Arroyo Club. I'm afraid to say that their standards are not what they used to be.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, Andrew invested in Tasker Industries, misplayed his hand, and now he blames me for it. Anyway, he shows up at the restaurant, begins to shout at me, and then he wants to deck me until the maitre d' throws him out. Oh, by the way, Free was running our new video camera.
So her name is Free Tibet. Is she free to bet?
And you left the restaurant at what time?
Around 11:15 or so, because I know we were at home by 11:30. Randa wanted to go swimming.
Oh?
She asked if I would join her, and I passed.
In the nude?
And she went down to the pool alone.
What was she wearing?
In the nude? She wasn't wearing anything.
Just a terry cloth robe and sandals.
Oh, she wasn't wearing anything.
Next.
Well, I read for a few minutes and must have fallen asleep. Because the next thing I know, I hear this horrific scream from the pool area. Now, I was a little disoriented, so it took me a few minutes to get down there. When I did, I heard the car screeching away. The gate was open, and Randa was gone.
Did she have
Can you
enemies?
think of anyone who might have wanted to hurt your wife, or you, for that matter?
Business I'm in, detective, you make enemies. Like
Okay.
drunks make water.
Oh. Drunks make
Randa,
water?
No. Everyone.
Oh, the whizzing.
What
I
about
see.
the arson incident at her leather goods store? Could there be a connection?
God only knows.
God
Your own
only
enemies?
knows.
No secret that a bunch of blowhards are up in arms about the 7 Arrows deal.
Blowhards. Is that another way of saying Native Americans?
Now, that's
Ooh!
rock. I have given more work to the Native American than anyone else in Santa Fe.
Oh boy.
No, I'm talking about that half-cocked group of activists. Like that legal aid lawyer, Dan Longfoot. Now that man has publicly threatened me.
Now that's a name.
If this was a kidnapping, Mr. Tasker, there might be an extortion attempt. I want you to keep us informed, understood?
Of course. And if you hear anything, you'll let me know.
No.
You bet.
Husband. Oh. So we no longer care about relationships now. Motive. Revenge, jealousy, robbery, depression. Just confirm his alibi just in case. It's going to be say, no, you can't confirm it because he's supposedly home alone. Ooh.
The terry cloth robe was probably torn off in the course of a struggle with an assailant.
And she was nude
Also, a
underneath.
trace fiber analysis shows several dark strands to be a camel hair mohair blend.
Oh.
You know, the kind associated with expensive jackets or overcoats. Also, the terry cloth belt seems to be missing.